took flight and rose above all. He changed the game and became a legend.
Are you ready?
North Carolina, at guard, 6'6", Michael Jordan! The head coach of the
Hello, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg, and we welcome you to the opening game of the 1991 NBA Finals. It's the Chicago Bulls out of the East against the Los Angeles Lakers out of the West in what should be an exciting best-of-7 series. But really, Clark, the story here is Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan facing each other in these finals.
Kevin, it really is the story. I mean, they've met only 12 times since Jordan joined Magic in the NBA back in 1984. Now it won't just be a one-on-one battle, but these two will be at the heart of everything. First, for the Lakers, the question is, how do you stop Jordan from pouring in basket after basket? I'm not sure they'll find an answer to that question.
Well, when it comes to Jordan, really, you can't look to stop him. You can only try to slow him down. But the other side of that equation, Clark, as you mentioned, is Magic Johnson. And he'll cause a lot of matchup problems for the Chicago defense.
And it starts, Kevin, with his size. I mean, he's so tall and talented with the ball that he's a driving force of the offense. I mean, he runs the Laker offense. Chicago will probably end up putting a bigger guard on him, and then he'd probably look to eat up the smaller guards in the post. We might actually get to see the Jordan-Magic matchup because of that. But even if that isn't the case, you can expect them to try to one-up each other, not every trip down the floor, but throughout the game.
Oh, this has the makings of, Clark, I think, a fantastic NBA Finals.
I'm right with you there, partner.
Let's go to our great sideline reporter, Doris Burt, for an update. Doris?
Well, as usual, when one team has significant rest, there is a question about rust. 6 days off for the Bulls, who haven't played since Monday, while the Lakers are rested but have played on Thursday. I asked Coach Phil Jackson about this, and he said they are going to have to look to rebuild momentum a little bit, but the camaraderie is still there. Sounds like he's a bit concerned about his team's sharpness in this one. We'll see how it plays, guys.
Great stuff, Doris. Thank you. And having not played in a week, that could affect the Bulls.
It could a bit, but for the finals, you know this team is prepared and really ready to go. I think they're chomping at the bit. So I don't think the time off will be as much of a factor as some think.
And now the Lakers starting group. Worthy out there with Perkins. Then it's Divac. Then it's Magic Johnson and Scott. But so far during these playoffs, we've seen Jordan really ease into the game.
Yeah, good strategy for him. He's tended to keep a low profile in the early going, allowing other guys to get involved, and then he steps on the gas in the second half, acting as a distributor in the first part of the game and then scoring later.
Kind of giving the team what they might need in any given game.
Yep.
Here's Paxson. About 3.5 minutes left in the first. Great anticipation. It's one-on-one. Here's Worthy, up high and down hard.
Uh-oh, a little bit of a statement made there while he hung on the rim.
That's one way to make sure the whole building knows exactly what you just did. Here's Paxson. Jordan against Scott. That doesn't go either for Jordan.
Jordan hasn't been sharp coming out in this one. You wonder if he's a bit nervous playing in his first NBA Finals game.
Here's Paxson. Cartwright with it. Tipped. Here's Johnson. Finishes the break with a ferocious slam.
Excellent defense, and the steal earns him a quick bucket in transition.
And it's the Bulls with the ball. They trail by 9 points. Perkins against Grant. Over Perkins. And again, no good by Chicago. Clark, seeing Worthy out there, he's moving so much better than he was against Portland.
Yeah, he really is, Kevin. I mean, he just wasn't himself with that injury. In a big game like that, you know if he's healthy, he's putting up more than 8 points.
Worthy backing down, puts the hammer down.
They've been dominant at both ends of the floor, so the early lead is no surprise.
Here's Paxson. Here's Grant. Left side, Jordan. They need this. And 2 free throws coming up as the whistle blows. He barely missed that one.
Byron Scott.
And back to Worthy. You could see him struggling with everything. Only going 3 of 12. That's just not him.
Not at all, Kevin, especially if you look at how efficient he's been from the floor throughout his career. But he does look better now and should be back to his old ways soon.
And that spells trouble for Chicago.
It does.
And the first one at the line is good. So for the Bulls, Will Purdue's checked in for Cartwright. And B.J. Armstrong has subbed in for John Paxson. And then for the Lakers, Smith has checked in. Second free throw, no good.
He's had some problems finding the range here in this quarter.
Clark, what should we watch as Jordan checks up Magic?
Well, one thing to keep an eye on is his hands, Kevin. Not so much on the ball as away from it. He always keeps them up, and in the past has deflected a lot of passes intended for Magic. Really anticipating the pass and playing defense before Magic even gets the ball.
Now let's check in with the third member of our crew, Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, gentlemen, Michael Jordan has been trying to downplay the Magic versus Michael matchup, repeatedly saying it's the Bulls versus the Lakers, not just 2 people competing. But when he talked to the media this morning, he relented just a bit, and you could see that look in his eyes, and he knew this would be about the marquee matchup. Makes you think he's been sandbagging a little bit coming into this series, gentlemen.
Thank you, Doris. And Clark, they can say it's the Lakers against the Bulls all they want, but really the world is watching Michael against Magic.
Well, it's 2 of the best players of all time going at it. I know it's a little early to say that about Jordan, but he's shown it so far, and a title would certainly help cement that claim.
Here's Armstrong. Releases from 15. Worthy with the rebound. Here are the Lakers with the ball. They're on a 17-3 run right now. Johnson gets the bucket. Magic doing well, as you would expect from a champion. And out of bounds as the Lakers gain possession.
That's exactly what a dominating defense can do. Get inside their heads, frustrate them a bit, and force them to make silly mistakes.
Both teams deciding to change it up. Here's Johnson. 9 points in the game so far. The runner, he dishes it. Here's Scott. No luck on the running jump shot.
There's another example, Kevin, of how they're hustling to all the missed shots to get an edge in the rebounding area.
Here's Jones. Livingston gets whistled for blocking. That is his first foul of the game.
Tried to beat his man to the spot, but I think he got there a tad late. Good call by the official.
Here's Williams. Pass to Johnson. Back to Williams. And good, coming off the assist by Magic Johnson. Williams has got his first 2 points. Here's Armstrong. Can't get it to go. An interesting start to this one here. First quarter wraps up. Lakers lead by 18.
Well, they've been the beneficiary of quite a few turnovers. They've made fewer mistakes, and that's why they're ahead.
And it's more NBA action coming your way here on 2K Sports. Well, it hasn't exactly been close, but as the second quarter starts, still plenty of basketball left to be played. Here's Smith. It's an 18-point game. Looking at Perkins here, he really stepped up big in that Game 6 against the Blazers.
You know what? The Lakers might not be here now if he didn't have that big game. 26 points, 10 of 14 shooting. He was a force in the middle.
So with Pippen sitting on the bench, this is Phil Jackson's lineup. B.J. Armstrong is out there with Michael Jordan. And there's Livingston. Then it's Cartwright. Stolen away. Smith right side. No good. So the Bulls will take it the other way. You know, Clark, thinking more. Welcome, everyone, to Boston, Massachusetts, your home for this Eastern Conference playoff matchup between the Chicago Bulls and the Boston Celtics. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg. We'll be joined by Doris Burke a little bit later on. Clark, Chicago is going to be looking to even the series here, but it will be a tough task.
It sure will be, Kev. This Celtic team has been a juggernaut at home, only losing once all season to the Portland Trail Blazers. The Chicago Bulls will have to play the best basketball they can in order to overcome the noise here in Boston.
And with Game 1, as we saw in this series, that didn't happen for the Bulls as they fell 123-104. One bright spot, though, in that game was Michael Jordan, who looked to be as fit as ever in that game.
And, Kevin, he can be a game changer. The Bulls just snuck into the playoffs with him injured for most of the year. But if he's healthy, then they are a whole different team. This is shaping up to be a fantastic game, too, and I can't wait for it to get started.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, no surprise, Kevin. An update on Michael Jordan. He missed 64 games during the regular season with a broken foot. Now coming into this series, he told Chicago management that he absolutely wanted to play, saying, "A basketball player is what I am, and there is no way he would miss the series." Management couldn't say no to his request, and from the looks of game one, it's paid off with him. No surprise with Michael, Kevin.
Good stuff, Doris. Thank you. And Clark, you know, you hear a quote like that from Jordan, and you get an idea of his competitive nature.
Most certainly you do, Kevin. You can see it in his eyes when he plays. I mean, he's as focused on the court as any young player I've ever seen.
Now let's take a look at the Bulls' opening lineup. Charles Oakley out there with Woolridge. Then it's Corzine. And it's Michael Jordan and Macy. Danny Ainge with the real big year, Clark, for the Celtics.
And you know, Kevin, with him, it isn't so much about the numbers, although he was a double-digit.
I want